Welcome everyone to this lecture, and this lecture is all about for loop. So how much powerful is for loop? It is much like a while loop, but it is much powerful when you are working with the data structures like string, list, dictionary, tuples, and string too. So it is very important to know for loop because it's pretty much like looping, like using like a while loop, but it is much powerful than the while loop in the context of working with the data structures. So just for the sake of this course, just open a new script and save it for .py. So we're good to go. Now just for this step of course, I want to show you something called as a range function. So what does this pretty much range function do is take any point, just a start point and stop point, and present you iterables of the numbers. Basically it will provide you a list of numbers, and you can pretty much deal with the list of numbers. So what that basically means is 1 to 11. I want to generate a number from 1 to 11, and it will pretty much do like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and 11 will be excluded in the range function. It is one is inclusion and second one is exclusion in the range function. So this range function pretty much works with for loop. So what for loop is, it's just one for in all in lowercase, and we'll put one variable, suppose I here, and we'll pretty much do in range. So for I is variable, and range function pretty much give you a iterable from 1 to 10. So for every item in 1 to 10, so just you have to print your I. So what does this do? Just run for first time and I'll give a description of what just happened. So it will print you something like 1 to 10, number from 1 to 10. So what pretty much happened here is the range function will give you iterables or a list of numbers from basically 1 to 2, and pretty much all the numbers from 1 to 10. This is the list created by the range, and 11 is excluded. This is inclusion position and this is exclusion position. So pretty much -1, any number exclusion -1 will be included in the list. And basically what here is for is just a keyword for using a for loop, and I is variable. It is instantiating the variable I. So for I in range means for the first iteration value of I will be 1, and for second iteration, so it will print just for the first iteration I will be value of 1, and it will go to the jump to the next, it will jump to the scope of the for loop, and it will print I means it will print 1, and next time it will just increase the for loop and go to 2 because the range is 1 to 10, and it will print similarly, it will print 2, and it will print 3, it will print 4, and if I is in range of 10, whenever it has already printed 9 and time for 10, it will see and print a 10. And when it is 11, and 11 is it not in list, because range will provide a list from 1 to 10 if we have given a range of 1 to 11. So the list will be from 1 to 10, and the value of I will vary from 1 to 10. So if it again increase by 1, I is not in list, so it will terminate from loop. So it is very important to remember, because we'll often work with looping in the data structures, and for loop provides a very much efficient way to deal with the data structures, because in the list basically, or in any databases, we'll just loop to each of these object presented in the list or presented in the dictionary. So it is pretty much to remember that for loop will provide an interface where you can, or it will provide, basically it will provide you a opportunity to loop through each of the element in your list or any data structures. So it is very efficient way to use for loop in the data structures. So pretty much the for loop will be pretty much very important. Similarly, if I say here for I in A B C D, so it pretty much can loop to anything. So it should print you a B C D in the next line, include in giving a one line break. It should print you a b c d. So not only in list, it can use in the string too. It can use in your dictionary, it can use in your list. Everywhere looping is very important.